Thought production. Sometimes you may not even be aware of the fact that your mind is constantly busy producing thoughts. You may even go a long period of time without realizing that the thoughts are there. In order to do something different with our thoughts, we need to catch the thought in process to make sure that we don't get trapped in negative patterns and behaviors through accepting our thoughts as an objective truth. The first step in challenging our negative thought patterns is learning to look at thought rather than from thought. This means that we learn not to follow or resist the thought, but rather simply to notice it. The thought itself does not dictate your actions. A thought does not necessarily mean that you have to do something. Thoughts are attached to meanings, and these meanings can sometimes create illusions in our minds. Because thoughts mean something, when we have certain thoughts, sometimes it seems like our thoughts are a reality. When we stop and really consider our thoughts, they often appear to be either enhanced or minimized just by simply evaluating them. In order to try to change a pattern of behavior, we need to get back to the pivotal point of when we first had that thought. This does not mean that we must notice all of our thoughts obsessively, but if you can train yourself to learn to notice when those thoughts first occur, you can begin to work out new ways to relate to them. Your mind's job is to protect you and help you survive. It does this by constantly categorizing present events and relating them to the experiences in your past as well as your predictions and expectations for the future. Our minds are a word-generating machine, which relate one word to another. We are doing this from the moment we get up in the morning to when we go to sleep at night. When we deliberately do things, we create verbal paths or rules which we try to follow. So when we deliberately tell ourselves to stop thinking about something, we are creating a thought which says we shouldn't be thinking this thought, and so then we try to follow it. Unfortunately, this verbal path is connected to the thought itself, and this process will only leave us feeling frustrated and confused. The first step in dealing with this is to learn to notice our thoughts as they occur. Although we are thinking constantly, it is rare for us to consciously notice the thoughts we are having. For example, everything that happens naturally and occurs commonly fades into the background. How often do you really notice that you're blinking your eyes? We will now complete an exercise titled, "What are you thinking right now?" Open your positive thought journal and take a few moments to write down your thoughts as they run through your mind as they happen. Write down as many as you can while they are occurring. How many thoughts were you able to describe? As you wrote, was it the case that other thoughts about your initial thought came up? If you stumbled for a moment and realized, I'm not thinking about anything at all, did you realize that this is itself a thought? The primary goal that we are going to be working on is dismantling the habit of taking your thoughts literally. If thoughts are what they say they are, any experience that can program a thought is an experience that can control your behavior. When we take our thoughts literally, we are at the mercy of every random experience life throws at us.